Mahavir is an architect and design professional with over 5 years of experience in his own practice, Design with Mahavir in Bengaluru. He has worked with leading firms like Design Cartel, Studio Envisage, Praxis Inc., and Satya Consultants. He brings expertise in architecture, interiors, and 3D visualization. An ASTEC award winning young achiever, his work reflects a passion for thoughtful, sustainable design and mentoring young achievers. Thank you and welcome to the fourth episode. What was your first site experience like?
So my first site experience would be my site visit during my internship. So again, being a little mindful about the sort of firm that I wanted to join, right? So I joined a small scale firm where I thought I would be benefited by getting more work. So if I choose like a large scale firm, the sort of work I would be getting is like very minimal. It might be probably just like detailed drawings, etc. But the sort of opportunity that I received from joining a small firm was technically getting in detail of the projects in terms of say even designing, right? So there were two principal architects for that particular firm, and no junior architects, just interns. So as an intern, I was like taken to like various site visits what they were working on, commercial, residential. But one project that was interior project which I was working on during my internship. Uh, so since both the architects were busy for some work and there was no immediate site attention that was required, they would just send me like go visit the site, see these things. Like as an architect, what would you do?
So you
have
went
to
alone?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I don't think like a lot of interns are given this sort of opportunity, if I have to say. So I think that sort of an experience, like really pushed me at that particular uh, time, and it still helps. Like you get that sort of a confidence to how you deal with the contractors, how you talk to a client, like understand his like problem, try to generate the solution that you think is the best, right? Probably not the best, but at the point of time, whatever you think is the best option, discuss it with your contractor. Probably he might have another option to it. Like it's a collaborative effort at the end of the day. So yeah, I mean, for me, the first site experience would be something of this sort, where like it was a very learning sort of an experience where I was just thrown into the water and asked to swim. So yes.
Um, what's one word that sums up architecture life, your architecture life?
I would say passion is something I can say has been there for my architecture life all throughout. Uh, with the sort of like market, I would say like there's a lot of like disagreement that comes up, that the pay scale is not good. Like you have to struggle a lot. Okay, college hours are going to be like really hectic. You have to put in so much number of hours, draw sheets, etc. But then even after that, like one wanting to like continue with the sort of like uh, say the field that you are into takes a lot of courage, I would say. So and it is purely from one's passion that one can go ahead, and otherwise like you'd be just doing like a draftsman job. Like you're just like, okay, do like a mediocre job and like spend your life. But truly having passion towards architecture and wanting to practice it in your own ways makes a lot of like difference. So yes.
So, how was your 5 years of college and like?
So college, obviously, say you would get like a mixed sort of a reaction for this, right? Like for I was lenient, lean towards say the theory bit of it, which I think even now comes really handy, right? So people might think, okay, like theory is of no use, and when you go out, that is
It's just
where you learn,
practical.
right? All the practice. it definitely is a lot of like difference between what you learn in college and the practical practicing of architecture, right? But again, if your basics are not right, so starting from scratch, there's a lot of like difference that can create in the start. Obviously, you pick up from wherever you practice and like wherever you start learning. They will teach you like, okay, so these are the basics. This is our style. So this is what we do. This is how you handle your clients. But then, even to start designing, the basics that are there, the theory of architecture, the um construction technique, the materiality, etc., that is being taught in college. So I think in some way, obviously, these are really important, and I have enjoyed my college life as well.
That's nice.
Yes.
So you would choose theory or studio?
Studio work, obviously, yes. Theory, again, is really important. You can always, go back to your theory and try to make it strong. Uh, that because that's your base, right? So even a brick size is your base, and that is what you will be learning in your college.
Yeah.
But then going ahead, you won't be dealing with this, but you'd have it in your fingertips. So if these are like very strong, going ahead, you can focus more on your designing than your theory.
Yeah.
Again, theory is always going to be there. Like you learn about like different styles of architecture, different architects, techniques, etc. But these basics are going.
What inspired you to pursue architecture, and how has your passion evolved over the years?
First and foremost thing that comes to my mind when I talk of architecture is temple architecture, and that is the first point of contact for me, where I started liking architecture or a built structure as such. And over the years, when I started working on my creativity and things like that, I started looking into spaces in a very different sort of way, and thus my interest towards architecture and even interiors for that matter started. And for now, if I have to say, like that still keeps inspiring me every day, like the sort of material I keep using, and the newer innovations that are coming up tends to understand how differently this can be used in my project, my buildings that are coming up, and that's something I look for.
So, like, you like more about the history part, temple.
Yes, I mean, so traditional sort of an architecture has always been something really close to me. Uh, and I do love visiting like temples. I mean, the sort of like spaces that are created inside, there's some sort of a rhythm, balance, etc. And that really, like resonates to a human mind. And that is something I've liked. And I think each and every building that you visit or design should have something similar sort of a feature, that it should resonate to your human body.
Okay, next question. Can you share a memorable project that tested your creativity in an unexpected way?
So one such would be a recent project that I've done. It's in a village sort of a setup. So it's near Mysore, Kollegal district, and so this project, because it's in a village sort of setup, right? The sort of architecture that it is built into. So creating a very alien sort of a building in that space, like I couldn't just put my style over there. I had to know what the context is, what sort of an architecture will suit to that. Plus, looking into the sort of availability of materials there. So, in terms of say like technology, materiality, and overall planning, this one project has really been something really close to my heart, and I have given my all to it. So the client is based in US, and the project is in like this small village. So I can't make it purely traditional, so or modern, right? So it was a mix of both. So the elevation resonated to the architecture of the surrounding, use of laterite stone walls, plaster walls, and maglo tile roofing, etc. and the interiors are still a little more contemporary, where you're using like modular kitchen. The furniture are very minimal sort of furniture that is being used. Uh, so in terms of materiality and planning, I think it was challenging how you select and match up two different sort of styles in one single building. So that I think is a very good experience that I've had with Province.
How do you think architecture impacts people's daily lives in Bangalore?
It affects a lot, I would say. So it is a space you are like walking into or walking out of every time, be it inside or outside. Each and every space that you design makes a lot of sense, and it has to, otherwise it is a bad architecture, I would say. So like in a house, like it has to like be to that specific user. Like you can't design the same building for like 100 users and expect the person to be comfortable in that space, right? Color theories, the materiality, the sort of like textures, everything, the sort of lighting inside, everything has to make sense for that particular person. Only then I would say it is a good architecture in that way. So in everyday activity, even psychologically, it affects a human in terms of the how he behaves in so and so way. Say he sees light, it might brighten up his mood, and darkness, might be soothing for someone else. So yeah, I mean, how you build, where you build, and what you build makes a lot of like difference to a human.
Which architectural style or era most influences your work?
Uh, for sort of person and the style that I have, I get inspired by a lot of architects, I would say. I would say like I would get inspired by even Charles Correa at one of the side, where he's like having his contemporary yet modern sort of architecture. On the other side, I would also be inspired by Laurie Baker. So the sort of style that I do is both sustainable and contemporary sort of buildings. So I try to like relate what best suits for the client that I'm dealing with, and draw in inspirations of what has been done, what different I can create for the user that I'm catering to.
So you would like to like explore more other kinds of styles and all that?
So definitely in terms of like keeping in touch with whatever is trending, right? One has to be like very mindful about what you take, because being inspired and copying becomes, there's a very thin line, right? So getting inspired by the sort of like style, the sort of buildings, the spaces that one creates is something one should do. But again, copying the style becomes very, so what I have done for myself is like getting inspired from various styles and trying to make my own.
What role do you think technology plays in future of architecture?
I think it has a very huge role in like architecture these days, especially with a lot of like technologies coming in say like the building facade, interiors, automation, whatnot. So I think a lot of technology being used is going to help the human use their time in some different ways, right? You automate your building these days so that whatever minor time that you save can be used up to do some other activity. You can use it for yourself. So in terms of architecture, interiors, it is going to be a very game-changing sort of a space where technology being used, not being used, is going to make a lot of difference.
Yeah, I've heard they started these 3D printing and
Right. So even houses can be 3D printed. Like you just have to like have your BIM structures ready in totality, and all the programs are going to be sent to the machine, and even the material. It's not that it's going to like pick up bricks and like keep it for you. Instead, it's going to create a solid wall for you, which is not a masonry work. So it makes the job more easier. Again, chipping of like walls to put your conduits, etc., is not going to happen because it's already been planned and like laid. So way ahead in terms of the sort of timeline for projects, etc., it's going to like come down a lot, which is going to help the end user again, because economics is the last thing and the first and foremost thing that a investor or a end user is going to think about. So it is a very big game changer.